we finna bang, I'm finna get into this stuff, and I'm gonna get in trouble, I'm finna throw stuff. I was one of those kids, like, I'm not really into a relationship right now, but maybe in the future. And once I got to 11th grade and 12th grade, that was when I was more of like, oh, I want a relationship.
Okay. Now, when you said that you and your girlfriend back when you were in ninth grade, you guys were kissing. Did you feel, did you, I mean, this is a little bit more of a personal question I'm going to ask. You don't have to answer it, but I just think that to tie it all in, I just want to understand it. When you two were kissing, were you aroused at any point?
No.
Oh, okay.
It
Now,
was, I would say that because there was, oh, sorry.
it's
Someone
okay.
just called, I'm sorry.
It's
Um,
okay.
it was more of, there was a guy in band, because I was in band in ninth grade. So there was a guy who, I played trombone, he played trombone, and I could tell he liked me. I found him attractive, but I didn't make any subtle movements. Um, so it was like when I kissed my ex-girlfriend, or when I kissed my girlfriend, it was more of, oh, why am I kissing her? Like,
Oh, okay.
it was more of, oh, it's not that bad, but why am I kissing her? And then it was like, that was it. That was just that feeling. It was just like, why am I kissing her? And then after that year was up, I went to a different school, and me and her were texting for like 2 weeks, and I just was like, I'm sorry, I can't do
Mhm.
it.
Now,
So,
wait, oh, I understand. Now, when you met your future wife, was she in the same school as you?
no, my ex-wife is actually older than me. I was 22 at the time, so she had to be about 36 or 37.
Oh my God, a much older lady.
Well, I've always dated older people
Hmm.
growing up, so it was more of, she was the first person I ever dated that was older than me.
Hmm.
And after that, it's just been the same. I've never dated anyone younger than me except the current relationship I'm in now. But
Okay.
no, she was already out of school. Actually went to school with my cousin.
Oh, okay.
So it was more of, everybody was calling her cougar. I'm too young for her. I'm like, it's
Mhm.
love does not have an age unless you're under the age of 18. Okay.
Mhm. So now, when you said that she asked you, would you date someone like her? Now, what was the first date like? I mean, did you really take it seriously that you could actually go through with this date? And what was the date like?
um, the date was just like, well, for me, this is just me and how I was feeling at the moment. The date was pretty much like a normal hangout. Like, she picked me up from the Greyhound station. I dropped my bags off at home. We went to the
Mhm.
movies. Um, had popcorn, had candy, and sat there when the movie was over. She dropped me off at home. I gave her a kiss, and the next day it was a repeat.
Okay, so now you you're focused on what why did you decide to get married if you knew that you were different, or had you not really made a decision about you wanted to become a female?
No, I had already made a decision when I was in elementary school that I was going to be a girl. But I was growing up with a father who wasn't okay with that. So I was trying to make everybody happy in the house. So I didn't want the confusion of my dad coming up to me all the time saying, are you dating a girl? Are you dating a guy? What are you dating? Are you going to have kids? What are you going to do? Like, I didn't want to go through all that. So I just was like, you know what? I'm going to find somebody who likes me, who I can actually love, or in the future get married to and have kids with, so that my daddy can get out of my ears, and then
Hmm.
I can start living for myself. But when I turned 21, I had already started living for myself. I started finding myself little by little. I started dancing like I always wanted to do. I started traveling like I wanted to do. I started doing like little arts and crafts things like stoning and beading, and that's when I started doing makeup and stuff. And
Hmm.
it was just like little things that I was trying to find inside myself that I wanted to bring out to reality, so that when it came off and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be a girl. if you don't like it, mom, if you don't like it, dad, if you don't like it, just leave.
Mm-hmm.
So when I met her
Mm-hmm.
and I already had in my head that I was gonna be a girl, I had already told her before we even got in a relationship, hey, I have never been with a girl. I have been with a girl, but I have never been had sex with a girl. And
Mm-hmm.
I have really never really been with any guys. So I'm not bisexual, I'm not gay, I'm not straight, I don't know what I am. I just know that I told my mom I was gonna be a girl when I was little, and I still feel that way. And she was like, well, as long as you don't cheat on me, I'm perfectly fine with that. So she understood where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
So when we did get to the point of divorce, it was like a mutual agreement. She was like more of, actually, I take that back. It was more of someone told her I cheated on her, and she believed it because she has anxiety and depression. So every little thing that someone tells her blows up, and she
Okay.
believed it. And at the time, I was like working two jobs, and I was never at the house, so she didn't know what to think. And which I don't fault her for that because I wouldn't know what to think either. You working two jobs, I don't know when are you cheating or when you're not cheating. So
Mm-hmm.
I never cheated on her, but people started like throwing it out there, and she started believing it. And then I was like, "Do you want to get divorced?" And she was like, I think that's the best thing for us. And I was like, well, I don't want to leave the relationship with all the drama and us leaving on bad terms. I still want to be like close to you because I actually had you. I pretty much was taking care of the kids while she was at work.
Mm-hmm.
So from them being 5, 6, and 10, I'm sorry, 5, 7, and 10, not 5, 7, and 10. I'm over exaggerating. By them being in fifth grade, sixth, and seventh grade at the time, I pretty much was there, like taking care of them while she was at work, making sure they cleaned the house. I pretty much grew up with them because their dad passed away when they were young.
Okay.
So it was like I just didn't want to lose the attachment of them because they saw me as their father at the time, and I saw them as my kids. So it was like
Mm-hmm.
whatever y'all need, just call me. But when we got divorced, it was more of you're not taking my kids away from me. You're not doing this, and you're not. It was all of that because I was their guardian, and I was to the point where I was like, these are my kids. This is my house. If you're gonna divorce me, we're gonna have like a mutual agreement or something because I still need to be in contact with those kids.
Mm-hmm. Now,
And
I just want to go back to what was the wedding like? What was the wedding like and the family like when they first came to the wedding? And let's say they had perceived notions of who you were as a male and as a potential husband of their relative or brother, sister, cousin,
mhm.
what was the wedding like?
Well, we had decided that we were just gonna get married without our family, and
Mm-hmm.
I will. It's not a really a long story, but I'm gonna tell why. When I first started dating her, her family wanted her to just stop talking to me because I was too young.
Okay.
And even though I was working and I was bringing in money, and she wasn't working, but she had Social Security and benefits from her ex husband for the kids and herself.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working two jobs, and it doesn't matter whether I was working or not. They just didn't want her with me because they were like, "Oh, he's too young for you. Maybe you should just find somebody your age, or this is not going to work out. Y'all going to be
Mm-hmm.
broken up within a week." It was just like a lot of stuff. So every event that I went to that was her family, she would get mad because I would want to sit in the car or I would not want to go at all.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, why? And I was like, so I'm gonna sit around all because she's Jamaican, so I'm not gonna sit around all these Jamaicans and watch them talk about me and listen to how they and see how they look at me and listen to how they feel about me, and I'm not supposed to say nothing. I was like, yeah, I rather just. I said I'll go for you, but after about maybe 20 minutes, I'm gonna leave and go to my mom's house
Okay.
because it was vice versa too. Like my family was like, oh, she's too old for you. I don't that's oh my god, what you doing, blah blah blah. And I was like, you're not dating her, so why does it matter to you? Like,
Mhm.
and I told her the same thing.
So, did the family ever think? I know you said they didn't like the fact that she was older and you were younger, but did the gender thing ever come into play?
No, because what me and my wife discussed or whatever we did was our business, so we didn't really tell anybody. It wasn't no one else's business to know.